Don't have to name people. Okay, we live now.
All right, we live. Come on in, y'all. Let me play some music.
Play some music.
What's poppin'? Brand new whip, just hopped in.
Come on in.
Hold on, I need some water.
That's that bitch like Stockton. Just joshing. I'm spending this holiday locked in. My body got rid of them toxins.
Come on in. Afterthought podcast. We are live, but we not live. We live for y'all. Hey. Come on in. Let me get everybody tagged.
Chilling.
Come on in, y'all. Afterthought podcast. If you see my face, we here.
Where's JP?
We are here. Come on in. Come on in. Come on in as we share this. Hey. The gang is here. Tiff Tonto in the building. JP is here. They here. Let me get it going. Make sure you share the live. We live on Twitter. Hey, YouTube live. We got a dope. We had a dope show the other night. Come on in. That's right. Come on in. Come on in.
What happened to JP?
JP
I'm here.
Oh, I don't see you.
I'll put y'all on the. Hold on.
There
we go.
Magic tricks.
Magic tricks, right? Just trying to, I got a trick. If I change the song every 30 seconds,
they
won't. They won't mess with me. But it's okay. It's all right, y'all. Come on in. Come on in. I'm about to tag y'all should get it, and then we're gonna get ready to get started. Hey. Hey. Come on in. Come on in, y'all. That's right. It's Wednesday. You know what I'm saying? Let me do this the right way. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. If you see our faces, Wednesday, February 10th, and this is the Afterthought Podcast Live. I'm your man, Joe Hill. And of course, you see the gang is here. JP in the building, representing always. Tiff Tonto in the building, getting set up. What up, Tiff?
What's going on?
We are here. We got a dope show for y'all tonight, man. Come on in, share the live. Shout out to the Twitter world, YouTube live world, Facebook live world. I see everybody checking in. We appreciate y'all. So, as always, let's get this thing rolling. We got a dope show. We got some amazing guests. We got a sex mentor coming on here. Shout out to Tiff for the plug. It's gonna be interesting. Our faces already is like, all right. We're turning that corner as a show. Where we are coming on to talk to us about what she does and how emotions and thoughts, everything plays in line to that. So we're gonna break that down. And I heard JP's gonna share a story. I heard before we no, I'm playing. We're gonna dive into that. We're gonna have on. Her name is Delora Guignion. She's gonna be on
Guignion.
Guignion.
Delora Guignion.
Guignion.
Yes.
Guignion. You gotta say her name right. She sounds like she don't play. Guignion. And then after that, we got the OG, the New York king of comedy himself. Talent is coming through.
I'm excited for our guest.
Oh yeah.
A lot of questions. A lot of
Look, JP, he got a lot of questions for the comedian. You don't want to tell that story.
No, I do.
Right?
Big Energy Wednesday. I'm ready.
We speak to comedians all the time, JP.
You're right. No.
Let's get into it.
I got you.
Let's get into it. God damn it. I love it. As always, make sure you follow us on everywhere. We're digitally, we're everywhere. Anchor FM, but you can find us on Spotify, Google Play, Apple Music. Just subscribe to it. We up to episode 25, so give it up for us as a crew. This is our 25th episode.
Is that including the very, very start before we started going live?
That's the very start. That was that was the very first episode until now. Okay. We are at the Afterthought podcast episode. This is actually number 25. So
nice.
Kudos. I mean, we're making, listen, small wins equal big wins. So, you know,
we moving up.
We moving up, man. We moving and grooving. So yeah, tonight is gonna be dope. As always, I am in the West Coast at the moment. As you see, my background has changed. I got the family background, you know, the high school graduation pictures in the back and everything, you know. So you know, that's where I'm at. Y'all in New York, right? Tiff, you in the Qs?
You always want to tell us that you out there with warm weather.
You know.
Okay.
We get it.
Don't worry, we're gonna meet you at the airport with snowballs. We're gonna bomb.
Exactly.
Well, listen, I got good news. Shout out to my guy Javon Johnson tapping in. I got good news because UGK of Comedy, we will be in Miami May 5th, Cinco de Mayo, that week. So yeah, we'll have warm weather there if you want to, you know. It's a warm state, you know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying, you know. No. But how you feeling?
A little questionable with Florida, but I respect Miami. You know, Florida is a state. You know, I got family and loved ones out there. They just be Florida, just different.
Oh yeah,
like Florida and Texas are like just different. Like they don't.
What was the riot about in Tampa? Why were they rioting?
Well, I mean, obviously they were. You know, people were. I don't want to say they were rioting, but I would say they were more celebrating, and they just tearing shit up in the process.
You want to talk about that, Joe?
Shout out to the Bucks. My cousin, of course, Jordan Whitehead, the starting safety, number 33, got the ring, brought it home for the fam.
Congrats, Jordan.
So, you know, clap it up for the Bucks. So that's why they were bugging out because I mean they brought a Super Bowl, and of course, you know, you get your New England Patriots. Not New England Patriots. You get your Kansas City fans that I'm sure was in town. So I mean, it was a perfect recipe for some shit to go down after the Super Bowl. So.
And they won at home. Like it wasn't like they were at like a neutral place. So usually they play the Super Bowl at like a neutral stadium. Like both teams. This was the first time that the team that made it to the Super Bowl was hosting it in their stadium. Yeah. In 55 Super Bowls, this is the first time it's happened. So people was gonna act a little bit crazy. It's like if the Giants played the Super Bowl at the Meadowlands and then won.
It'd be too late.
Then you know everybody in New York would have been bugging. Like So that was the energy they were on. That's why.
Well, that's great. I just hope that when June comes, people can actually have their real graduation ceremonies.
Agreed.
Okay.
I know because we haven't missed that. And honestly, some birthdays. Let's just talk about the essential stuff.
Weddings, like, you know, let people do what they need to do. Small, intimate settings or graduation ceremonies. You're paying big money, going into debt, and you can't even walk down the aisle. That's
I know somebody out here on the family side. They had a wedding last May, right when the pandemic, and they had like a drive-by wedding. So you drive by, honk the horn, and you know the bride and the groom was outside. It was kind of dope. I mean, you make do with what you can do, right? But that's kind of conflicting and hypocritical that you can go to have a Super Bowl, right?
And people can't do.
I agree.
Tips like
that shit. That's some bullshit. That's that bullshit.
But to that point, Joe, when you have a wedding, like, and I know Tiff, how you would feel like to adjust everything. You done spent all this money on the reception hall.
I agree.
The food, the reservations, the travel, all of that. Like this is the day that the bride's been waiting on her whole life.
Facts.
And now you have to scale it all the way back. Like, are they going to end up doing something like when outside opens up to like celebrate? Because you miss those moments, like the mother-daughter dance and the mother-father dance and the families.
Javon said did people throw their gifts at them from the car?
Yeah. And did they throw did they throw the garter into somebody's window? Like
That's a fact. That's a fact.
No, they just sent them a screenshot. There you go.
Exactly.
Whoever opens it first.
Speaking of flowers, I got to give y'all. I just want to say I appreciate y'all. You know what I'm saying? I figure we do this early. We get it out the way. You know, like offering, you get it out the way early in the beginning of the service. JP, he'll be back. No, because what we doing, we doing some dope stuff, and I appreciate y'all dealing with me. You know, It's crazy. Valentine's Day's coming up. You got a Valentine's, Tiff? You got one, or you? Nobody was in the DMs. Nobody.
I mean, you know, I'm not interested. I'm
like if they are, I'm not interested. I mean, all right. I'm just, you know how it is. I just don't know if somebody tried to shoot their shot for Valentine's Day. You know, Valentine's Day, me coming up, I was that kid in middle school, you know, that like, you know, y'all remember the candy grams. You know what I'm saying?
I never got that, Joe. No one ever sent me a secret Valentine. No.
I find that hard to believe.
And you sound bothered still by it.
I do feel bothered. I am bothered because I want to know why.
It's $1. It was $1. I sent them to a couple. I didn't send them to just one. I'm just saying.
I was racking up.
Securities come from. We found the root. I've never gotten a Valentine's Day, a secret Valentine.
Oh,
never.
Wow.
I think and before we get our first guest on, this was definitely something I want to harp on with y'all with Valentine's Day coming up next week. I asked if she had a Valentine. She said no, she's not interested. JP, do you have a special Valentine's or someone lined up? Always
smiling. Look. He always blushing. That's how you get JP to blush.
It's okay. It's okay to have a date lined up or something like that.
We celebrating life. Valentine's Day is my god sister's birthday. So happy birthday, Karina. So I'll be doing the birthday thing. And the 13th is my Aunt Glenda's big birthday. It's a big year for my auntie. So I'm celebrating birthdays this week. So
he dodged it.
I'm with a fan. Happy birthday, auntie. Happy birthday, Karina. So that's how my weekend looking.
I'm gonna just shoot myself in the foot. I got me a somebody for Valentine's.
Shut up, Joe. I'm telling Snow.
Listen.
No, I don't want to hear that one.
And I'm on the West Coast, so we're gonna be sitting by the water. You know what I'm saying? Doing that bougie shit. Look, doing shit like this where you wrap the arms and look each other in the eyes and take a sip like this, like.
Oh, that's
sweet. Y'all stupid. Oh man, but no, it's a great segue before we get into our guest. But love is in the air. You know, this is the time where. You know, some people, I mean, honestly, it's Valentine's Day. I feel like it's something that should be celebrated all year round. It shouldn't be something that you magnify too much, but I think society has driven us to be like, oh, you got to go do this. But I think you should acknowledge it. But my beef always is, and I'm going to swing it to y'all, I don't like honestly, going out on Valentine's Day, it's a mess. You know, the crowds, the line. So it's like, what are you doing at? You know what I'm saying? Like, do you go the day before?
Stay on your square. And keep your hands on. That's what the fuck you do. There's
the way New York is set up, they opening up restaurants finally on Friday.
I mean, you know what? You have to understand, it's all strategic planning. That's a money maker. So it's like, okay, we can open up this week. Then they're gonna say there was a surge of the numbers went up. Then everything's gonna shut the fuck back down.
Blame it on them dates. They're gonna say blame it on them Valentine's Day dates, on them sidewalks.
They're gonna let you spend your money on Valentine's Day, shop on President's Day. Then there's gonna be a surge, and everybody gotta stay the fuck home again until Easter. When Easter come, then oh shit, Jesus saved everybody.
There you go. Well, let's do this. Speaking of love and feelings and this time of the year, Tiff, let's introduce our first guest. She's in the lobby. She's been listening to us talk our smack, so it's a perfect segue. Let's do it. Let's introduce her. Go ahead, Tiff.
So we have Miss Delora Guignion coming in. She's a mind sex mentor. I met her in Clubhouse. This is why you need to get on Clubhouse. I met her in Clubhouse. I follow this woman, the spiritual homegirl. And they were both in this room and they were talking about mind sex and how you get to take your sexual energy and transmute that and make it work for you outside of the bedroom, you know, for business, in your personal life. So she's going to, you know,
we ready.
To us about that. Get ready, JP. Find your
there she goes. There she goes.
And you guys share it or bury it.
How are you?
I can't see you, Delora.
Hello.
Hold on, I can see her. You
Hey.
I can see her.
Hello. I had to make a dramatic entrance.
Right? How are you, Delora? Talk to us. How have you been? How's the family? What's been going on with you?
Well, things are great here. Great, relatively speaking. The teenagers are fed up with this lockdown. I'm in Canada, and we're extra locked down. We have curfew at 8:00, and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. But we're doing okay. Yeah.
I almost moved to Canada last March just for a year because y'all was getting stimulus on time. So I almost made a pivot to Canada, Delora. I almost did.
We were. Yeah, we wouldn't have shared with you though. You had to be a citizen already.
It's just like you didn't get
Sorry. I mean, we're nice, but we're not that nice.
Well, I'm glad for you, coming through, taking the time out. I know you got the fam and everything. So let's go. When Tiff, mentioned it, and I'm gonna tell you right now, mind, sex, mentor. That's the first time I heard them three. That in order. You know what I'm saying? I've always heard mind, sex, or mentor, but not together. So talk to us about what you do and a little bit more about that.
See, Delora, they're like the silly boys in class.
First of all, don't do that.
They're like laughing and giggling, and I'm like, you know what? Let's just have her on so she can explain, because y'all just heard sex and that's it. Now they're all giggling.
All right, we're ready.
Yeah, that's okay. You can stay at the word sex. I can keep you there as long as you want to, but I'll sneak in some really good gems along the way. Mm-hmm. So I'm a mindset coach, but I also bring in sexual energy. And what people don't realize is how powerful our physical energy is. It's actually the most powerful physical energy we have, and it's also our creative energy and our charismatic energy, but most people don't realize that. And a lot of people were raised with a lot of shame and guilt around sex and money, so I help break that down and make sure that people are making a lot more money.
So it definitely is lucrative from what you I mean, like from a coaching standpoint, I would say. I mean, definitely. I mean, I'm like I said, it's the first time I'm learning about it. So talk to us more about, for example, like, how does that pertain to like relationships? Let's start with that.
Yeah. So what happens a lot of times is my clients will come to me, and they'll come because they want to fix the bedroom or they want to fix the business. But what they find out is that the two are connected. So in a relationship, for example, if you can't ask for what you want in the bedroom, you're not asking for what you want in the business. You can't close the sale. You're probably not charging enough. And people don't realize that the two are connected. But if you have the confidence in the most intimate moments to say, you need to bend me over right now, you're going to be able to say in the sale, this is how much I charge, and give it to me.
Sounds like being straightforward too. Like this is being assertive in what I want and my needs are. And I think that does play into that in relationship, getting to know your partner and being on some like, this is what I want, this is what I don't like. Go ahead, jump in there. I mean, from your experience, does that sound like more like mentoring to you, Tiff, in general, or?
Well, see, in Clubhouse, in the room, I shared my experience, and she showed me how that worked. So that's what we need JP to come back and do, to share his experience so that she can show you how it actually works.
Okay.
Yeah, so what I call this is my party trick. You tell me your favorite sexual experience. Just think about how juicy and yummy that was. Then tell me the three words to describe it. So if you only had to tell me 3 words about your favorite sexual experience, what would they be? And I'll tell you how you can use that in your business or your life just to get more out of it.
All right, Jay.
Passionate.
Fascinating.
Intent. Passionate.
Intent.
Intense. And I would say
I could give you a lifeline. Electrifying. I was going to say
no.
That's a good word, though.
It was game changing.
That's awesome. Those are great words. So when you're looking to, do you have a business, or if you want to talk about it in the podcast world?
Well, I don't personally have a business yet. I'm working on one. Right now, I'm in the stages of that.
That's awesome. So what you want to make sure you do is you carry the passion into whatever it is in your business. If you're just chasing the dollar, for example, you're going to miss out on some of the benefits of it. I know he just dropped off, but
it's like,
yeah. So the passion has to be there. And the passion is what's going to get you past the times where you want to give up and quit. It's going to make you keep moving forward, because passion is a really great driver. I mean, how many times have people chased, their exes down the street through passion? That's the wrong. Yeah, exactly.
I looked at Tiff like
me
this.
too, Tiff. Me too.
I got in a car, I was driving,
really,
Tiff? And I had to come to my senses. Like, at some point, this car is gonna just clunk out. Let me turn my ass back around before I'm stuck on a highway.
That's exactly it. So that passion in that case was not being transmuted into something you really wanted, right? It was the right thing you thought at the moment, and then you snapped out of it and you're like, this is the wrong way to use my passion. So you would channel passion into whatever your business is. And then intensity, you need intensity to keep going. But the reason it's so easy to be intense when you're with a really good partner is because it feels good and you're getting your needs met. Well, then you have to also ask yourself, how can I get my needs met and maintain that intensity in whatever business you pursue? Because there's going to be elements of setting up a business that, are just not for you. Like, I hate the tech side, even though I can figure it out. I hate it. So I procrastinate and I make it, the worst thing possible. What then I do is I bring someone in that's as passionate about his tech as I am about mind sex, and he takes care of the tech world and I take care of the mind sex world. So that's how you can combine those two things. And then the third word was game changer.
Yes.
Make sure there's elements of that in what you're doing, what you're going to set up. You want to be a game changer for whoever's going to come in. Even if you're offering a service, you want to be the game changing service in that area.
True.
My question is, how talk to us about sexual energy.
Yeah.
And how that plays into this whole game of mentorship and mind and things like that.
Well, sexual energy, because it's your most powerful physical energy, people don't realize we use it all the time. So, when you have a music artist that gets in the zone and in the flow and they don't want to leave the studio and they go there for a week and they don't shower, the sex energy that they're using there is channeled as creative energy. They don't realize that they can learn to turn it on and off. So they're too worried about leaving the studio because they might ruin the flow, right? So that creative energy is what they're tapping into. Well, you can do that by mastering your sex energy. And like, if you've been on stage, which you guys have been on stage before or been in front of people, that charisma to get them to keep listening to you is what is your sex energy. You get people to listen in, or, to like pay attention in a room full of people. You're going, like, if I really talked really monotone and flat right now, you wouldn't give a shit about what I had to say, right? So I can turn it on and off like that.
Yeah.
Like, I've had guys change lanes, miss exits, cut me off on the highway so they could give me their phone number just by using my charisma in a rear view mirror.
Right.
You can use it. It can be that powerful. And it's not like in cases when you're on stage, it's not that you're trying to have sex with the audience, or at least not all of them. You're just trying to keep their attention and draw them into you, right? So you want to use that charisma in that way.
So is that kind of like the art of seduction, right?
You can, that's one element of it for sure. And there's to really master this energy, it's never an ick feeling, right? You never make, for example, if you're a guy, you're never going to make the women feel, oh, gross. But that happens when, you meet someone that seems really charming, but then all of a sudden you're like, ooh, get away from me. He's kind of gross. Well, he hasn't mastered his sex energy in that case. What usually ends up happening in that case is that he goes from appropriate to inappropriate really fast. And then you kind of move away from it all.
Okay. So that's also your chakra, your sacral chakra, right? So when you unblock that, that's your sexual energy and creativity and all of that stuff.
Yeah. And, the other thing that people don't realize also, this energy is actually your more life energy. So the more ideas, the expansion, the experiences, like Elon Musk talks about almost scrapping Tesla too in a Rolling Stones interview because he had broken up with his girlfriend. He didn't feel creative. He didn't feel like he wanted to do it. Yeah. Well, that was his sex energy that was impacted. He didn't have any creative flow at that point when he was sad and depressed and upset. The sex energy was shut down. And, when women go into stress mode, for example, that's the first thing that gets shut down because they don't want more life. It's a biological effect that happens. So you want to like tap into it in the right way so that you can show up and like own the stage, own the interview, own, you know, whatever it is you're doing.
So, you know what? That makes a lot of sense, because I find it that when I'm in a relationship and I'm happy, well, what you think is happiness, because like I explained to you before, that toxic relationships have been something that I've been experiencing, and some of the best sex comes from toxic relationships in my experience. And I want to know, how does that translate? You know, are we just focused on the sexual energy that is used during that, you know, isolated time, or can the toxicity also, you know, come into, you know, transmute into business, a personal life, and show up in other ways with your sexual and creative energy? Because when I'm in a relationship and I'm having sex, great sex, I want to be so creative, but when I'm sad and depressed and stressed, I can't find any creative energy at all. So that makes a lot of sense, but I want to know, how does toxic relationships play into your sexual energy outside of the bedroom?
Yeah, for sure. Well, for that, when it's good, right? So you feel like that, you know, the juiciness and the like, girl, I just had great sex last night. Well, what happens when you feel that? That's a high that you're getting. But on the other side of it, there's doubt, there's, you know, uncertainty, there's, you fight over the stupidest things, like however the toxicity is coming in. Well, that's going to show up in your business, in your work life, how you treat your colleagues. If there's a lack of trust that's being built, then it's undermining that energy. Now, what they've learned is they've used sex, or they don't realize it's sex energy, right? But they've used actually the act of sex to get what they want. So they manipulate through sex. And, you know, a lot of people use their sex energy to manipulate people. They just don't realize that's what they're doing. But yeah, it's a really common
I got a question. How does that play into the future state of all this? We've been in quarantine. How does this apply to, you know, we wearing masks
not
now.
Having sex.
That's what I'm saying, right? Delora, we wearing masks now, girl. So it's like, it's all about the eye.
I know, yeah.
So how does that translate during, like, all right, put it this way, post-pandemic, how will that translate? Or how will I be able to utilize these tools coming post-pandemic, I guess? That's my question.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I mean, when you can turn your charisma on, you can make people, like I said, people were cutting me off on the highway. I had a guy cut me off on the highway, miss his exit, change lanes. Like, don't cause erratic traffic, by the way. But that was just my eyes in the rear view mirror, right? It was just an extra look. So eye contact is one of the most powerful things you can do. You know, impactful compliments. Practice complimenting people now without, it doesn't have to have a sexual undertone, because you don't want to walk around like the creep that's like, you know, hitting on cashiers.
And let me say that. I'm glad you said that. It's going to be people in the supermarket staring chicks down, talking about Delora told me. Look you in the eyes.
That's what you're going to be doing on this date, Joe.
I can tell you look good under that mask, girl.
Yeah, don't do it quite like that. But, you know, like, intentional flirting without the sexual undertone really changes someone's day. You know, if you make eye contact and you smile, even if you have a mask on, people can see the smile in your eyes. That changes how someone's day goes, right? And so just be intentional with that. That is still the charismatic side of the energy without having the sexual undertones.
Well, I got somebody, Regina. Shout out to Regina Nelson, one of our subscribers. She goes, vice versa for something. Look at Mary J. Blige. She creates better when she's going through some shit. I always say that. Her, Keisha Cole, they just,
and Usher.
The energy that they put out from such pain, kind of going back to what Tiff was saying about energy and being toxic in a way that's like Regina said, there's some sort of mystique to it that it's like, damn, like, could it be some truth to that?
Yeah, absolutely. So in that case, what they're doing is they're channeling their pain and opening up the creativity. So they're able to channel it in a different way. Like people that I work with that are completely shut down sexually, we don't talk about the bedroom. We talk about their creativity. We talk about, you know, do they feel good on stage, or do they feel good on video, for example? And we build up the energy that way. So when artists are going through these painful moments and they're able to translate that into their art, I mean, that's the ultimate use of creative energy. The other thing is that your sexual energy is the link to your spiritual energy. So it opens up these, you know, incredible moments of, you get these incredible downloads, you have clarity of thought, you are able to come up with these fantastic ideas.
Right. I think it's something to it. When grown folks is getting into it, having sex or what have you not, I think there's energy definitely being transferred in between one another. Now, what happens after is the big question. I've always was a big component of what happens. Like because a lot of times, and I mean, we talk about it on stage as comedians, you know, we joke about it. Once it's over, you know, men are more external. They get up, I gotta go. You know what I'm saying? Women are more internal, where it's like the energy is kept. You know what I'm saying? Versus, I don't know. I'm not a doctor. This is my theory. Right. Tiff, like,
this is my theory. I think because men, their genitalia is external. You enter a woman, so we take on all of that energy. So that's what I think.
And let me just come and drop some energy off real quick. Let me just
and it be some badass energy.
I was going to say that. I agree with you, Tiff, because, and I was going to say that too, because it is external for men. That's why, fellas, real talk. Like, if I give you a pro tip right now, I'm going to give it to you right. What we do and what we internalize, what we eat, what we drink, what we consume on a daily basis, from the media to what we're reading to how we're going about our day, is so important. The foods that we eat.
And your eye gate is very important.
Extremely.
That's part of your diet too.
We don't exactly, Tiff. We don't realize how much we're consuming that hurts or that weighs on us or that contributes to all of these things. And then when we look to be in relationships or have different sexual interactions with others, like, that comes out too. Like, women can feel like I did it for the sake of doing it. And then there's other times where you be like, oh, this was different. Like, this is different.
You know, Valentine's Day is next week. Watch it. You gotta creep that line right there. I see you smiling. You're smiling too.
I got 4 days. And I'm cooling. I told you, I'm with the fam. I'm celebrating birthdays.
Okay.
But that's important.
You're right, it is important. No, you're right.
It is important. And you know, you're so right, Tiff. It's about, because the male, you know, if we're just talking heterosexually, but even in any other way, it's the penetration of the female. So if you just think about it anatomically, geez, I had to think about that word a couple times.
She's using SAT words, y'all.
I know.
I'm in the comments like, what the fuck? I got to get my dictionary out.
Yeah, that's okay. I almost had to like think about it in French and then English, but yeah, absolutely. Right. I mean, that's what happens. And what you do, for women, what we have to do is set up energetic guards, but men also, like, it isn't, you don't walk away scot-free, as much as we like to blame the men or say they, you know, they just leave. If actually you want to even practice in your solo play, after you're done, sit there in that afterglow moment a little bit longer. I encourage all my male clients to do that, and just sit in that nothingness. Because you know, when you fully release, you don't know what sound you make, you don't know what body, you know, how your body looks and all of that stuff. That complete release is where you can open up to your spiritual energy and get like a ton of like inspiration or whatever. So the longer you can stay in that spot, the better it is. Now, if you're with a partner and, you know, they want to chit chat right away, you can just say, you know, I'm practicing something. Do you want to try this with me? And that afterglow, you can actually feel the energy that's being built up around you even after the fact. And that's so beautiful if you can do that. Even if it's not like a casual relationship, you can still do that.
I think there's somebody somewhere right now around the country somewhere studying to be a mind sex mentor right now, and we just don't know it. I think we're overlooking this field of I'm serious, it's a professional field of, you know, figuring out the you know, they say sociology, you know, the way people think and all that, but sounds like there's some zen to this. There's a skill and there's an art to this, just like comedy. You know what I'm saying? There's like a skill to it. getting to know somebody. And I think in relationships, I definitely think this translates. Because I know there's some couples and people that's going to watch this and be like, word. So you need to transfer your energy tonight. You need to go take the garbage out and you need to bring your ass in here and get it on, right? Like that type of, I need you to transfer your energy tonight. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Yeah, if you're putting out the garbage first, that's a really good step to getting some later. Yeah, for sure.
Well, listen, we got to have you back on again. We got to have you back on because I feel like this definitely needs more time, and we got to do another segment. Maybe get some couples on here and maybe do some Q&A and maybe
I love that.
I always like to see how couples I mean, that sounds weird. How couples transfer energy. That's a whole nother story. But
kind of different show.
Couples, use energy in their situation to better it, whether that's sex, whether that's communication. But I think that is something that we got. So I think we definitely got to get you back for something like that.
Yeah, I'd love that. Thank you so much, guys.
But yes, tell the folks what you got coming up. I know the COVID hasn't stopped you. You're always working, always, even as a parent. What do you have coming up? What does 2021 look like for you?
Oh yeah, this is a good year. Actually, Tiff and I met on Clubhouse, and Clubhouse has kind of like opened up this Canadian girl back up. I was like shut down for the pandemic, and I just didn't realize how much I was traveling and networking before. And then I got busy, being mom. Are my kids okay? But now I'm like, no, Clubhouse has kind of opened my eyes again. I'm like, gee whiz, I miss a lot of the folks that I would meet before organically or however it was.
Yeah.
So I'm doing, in the next 2 weeks, I'm launching a free 5-day Mind Sex Challenge, actually. So follow me on my socials, drop into my DMs and my PMs. No pictures, please, but do send me a message and I will send you the link for that. And it's going to be 5 days of the juiciest stuff that I give my clients. And, yeah. And there's like one exercise on the Wednesday. Let me tell you, it is so good. I love doing that one.
She's using words like juicy, y'all. Some of y'all already like.
She loves that word.
I'm signing up. I'm signing up, Delora.
T-shirt that says juicy.
Nigga, like me and my brother.
I'm signing up.
You need to put that on a T-shirt and make that your merch. Juicy,
I will,
because that's your word. You always use it.
I love
Delora, look at this book. My friend put me onto this book. It's called Pussy Prayers.
Oh, I love that.
For sacred and sensual rituals for wild women of color. So
love it.
This talks about a lot of what you talk about. So you might want to get that. Pussy Prayers.
I'm gonna get on that.
Yeah. Who's the author on that? Shout out to author.
Who's the author? Sheesh.
You better hurry up and pray. Come on, hurry up.
I don't know.
So, but I think
I will send it to your DM.
I got you. I'll put it in the comments too.
Okay.
Laura, we appreciate you for coming, sis.
Thank you so much,
guys. I appreciate this.
I
will use your advice. Thank you.
Matter of fact, leave us with a positive. Any advice? On a positive note, leave us with something. Any couples, any singles. It's all about the eyes. Leave us with something organic right now.
Turn yourself on. Stop waiting for other people to turn yourself on. Turn yourself on. What is the last time you felt turned on? Today, look at these shoes I put on today, and I put this on Facebook. These are the shoes I wore at home in my home office because I wanted to be turned on and felt sexy. So there you go. Do whatever it takes to turn yourself on first, because that is felt everywhere you go.
Yeah.
And there you have it. Show us some love, y'all.
Thank you, Delora.
Thank you so much.
I appreciate
nice
you.
To meet you too.
We appreciate you. Be safe.
Stay juicy.
And we'll definitely get you back.
Stay
all right.
Juicy.
Thank you so much.
Stay juicy.
Later. Delora, the Mind Sex. So I feel like I learned something a little more. I
learned a lot.
So you had it. You didn't understand it, but isn't it like very interesting?
It is.
Because I feel like we can definitely explore more on what she does, and she can help so many couples, and she could have a lot of insight. You know what I'm saying?
And she can help single people.
Into those sessions she's talking about.
Yeah.
Listen, goddamn Clubhouse.
I told you, Joe. Clubhouse is good if you go into the right rooms. If you go into the right rooms, there's so much to learn. And guess who was in the room last night? Inyala Van Zandt.
Okay.
And if you get pulled to the stage, you actually can have a conversation.
Does that fix my life?
Fix my life.
Yes, fix my life.
I don't need her help. She be yelling at everybody. She be scaring.
But Joe, you know the thing about her, which I have a hard time getting with, is like, I feel like she does a lot. She did good work, but then it's also like I feel like she's doing stuff posturing for the cameras.
Okay.
Like sometimes I try to figure out the balance. Because, you know, to fit an hour show, and you're talking about years of issues that families and people have had, to put that all together and at the same time still be entertaining. Like, I feel like there's things that we miss.
I mean, of course, there's things that you miss.
Right.
Okay, because like when I was younger, I used to do music videos, right? You'd be on a music video set for 18, 24. Joe, you know, you've been on set before. 18, 24 hours. You know, you come back, you do this shit 3 days in a row just to get a 3-minute something. Of course, there's more.
I'll be there for the craft services. I'm just gonna.
I know. Craft service. Depending on the budget.
Be good as hell when they be on set.
If the budget is weak.
You're right. Well, that's a
budget is weak.
Segue.
You better off bringing your own fucking food. Y'all niggas got a microwave. That's all I'm asking.
With a Tupperware for background work. You like, nigga, where are you going right now with that? No, you can't use background work, nigga. Calm down. You ain't
for 18 fucking hours and all you got is some hummus and a cracker. No.
Well, look. Speaking of comedy and the segue and being on sets and television and we got a dope guest. He's in the lobby right now. He's been listening to us. He's here, talent himself, the OG, over 30 years in this game. And when you're talking about the state of New York, I mean, by far, that's number one right there. The New York king of comedy. Now, I'm gonna be honest. I was excited. You know, I put the fly up, and I know he's gonna see this right now. You know, Instagram has that spell check bullshit. Sometimes it be writing shit, sometimes before. So when I went to post New York Kings, it actually wrote the New York Kong of comedy, like King Kong of comedy. And what's dope is he really is that. He embodies that. He's King always Kong. Been that dude in terms of, putting comedians in position. You know, you've seen him on television, you've seen him on movies, touring around the country, and he's here. Ladies and gentlemen, let's bring him out the right way. Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, bring him to the stage, the forefront. Mr. Talent himself. What's going on, T?
I'm sorry.
That was good.
I was just reading pussy prayers. I'm sorry. I was over here reading. So this is the first time I ever been following pussy prayers.
What a follow, right?
We over here looking that shit up.
He probably tell us who the author is, right? That's a fact.
They don't play around. She held it up to the screen. You got to get this.
Shut up.
Look it up.
Yo, first and foremost, Talent, I appreciate you, brother, with everything going on, taking the time out to come on Afterthought Podcast, kick it with me. Always supportive of me and any endeavor I do. So I always appreciate you taking the time. I gotta give you your flowers. And
hard work, brother. Hard work. That's why I respect you. I appreciate
you. So, let's dive right into it, man. What you've been up to, and I like to get right into it. What you've been up to during the pandemic in terms of staying sharp. You know what I'm saying? I know what you've been doing. I've been watching you and studying it, but tell the folks what you've been doing since the pandemic started to stay sharp at what you do.
I've been creating content, man, for next month, make a full year straight, 8 shows in the making and counting. Getting that content created to turn around and sell it. Something I had planned by the end of the year, but all COVID did and the pandemic did was push everything to the forefront because you took away one thing. It's when you got things to do, they always usually fall behind on the road, touring and stage and actual physical comedy work. But when it shut everything down, it gave all of us more time on our hands than we ever asked for. So I just put that to work, one by one, start creating these shows and this content. And it just felt like as I did one, it was only right to do another one. Next thing, I just felt like I shouldn't be home wasting any day. No day should be wasted. So if I had something on Monday, then what am I doing Tuesday? I found something to do Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Now what about Friday? Okay, what about Friday night? What about Saturday? People are home. That was the one thing that was the gold mine that people should have tapped into. People are home. You start looking at CNN, you see the unemployment numbers, you see, all these jobless people, you see the streaming going up, you see the social media going up. You got to take advantage. That's it. So I mean, we got shows from Monday to Sunday.
I was gonna say when he said shows, some of us tapping and shout out to Desi. You already know what it is.
What up, fam?
Money earned in Mount Vernon, like Regina said.
Yes,
my God.
What's good, fam?
See, you definitely embody that. Made the right pivot is the word I like to use. When the COVID jumped off, I was seeing you, and when I say every day on every platform, every day, Twitter, YouTube. So in terms of that, do you feel like at first there was a little like, hold on? Or did you just dive right? Like, I got to just dive in and pivot. Or was there some sort of hesitation at first? Because I know you've been in the game a long time. And I run into a lot of older comics and they always hit me with I ain't doing virtual. That's not my thing. But I noticed you're somebody, regardless how long you've been in the game, you dove right into it. So I just wanted to ask you.
Well, no, I mean, it was no apprehension. Again, it was on my plate to do towards the end of the year. It was on my schedule. I had it. I said by September, October, I'm gonna start doing these shows that already got on the brain, right? Because podcast was the way to go to me. But what happened is, I think that in comedy, when you talk virtually or socially, everybody has one picture in their brain, and that's sketches and skits. So you got a lot of what we call old school OGs or veteran comics that are like, I ain't doing no skit. I never really looked at it like that. Like, I didn't look at it like it was one thing. I knew I was going the podcast route. I just had all these different areas. How do I separate them? Do I do this one podcast that cover everything, or do I show people so that I get that audience in that fits that show? And I chose to. What they showed me was, the audience showed me actually, that we want everything. Like, we want, when we're home at 12 at night, we want to be sipping on our Casamigos. We want to hear some good tunes come through the joint. We want to get that mood going. A Monday, that day that nobody likes to start the week, we do need motivation. Your talent. You've been doing it 30 years. You met, worked with, and know everybody. God, you got to have some stories. So we did Sunday Stories. So we broke it all up to what all these little different things that people would want or be interested in hearing, so to speak. And we did that. We did separate podcasts and shows. Now, platform-wise, here's the crazy thing. Sometimes we do things. I always laugh at myself because I'm one of those dudes. I don't know if you guys are like this, but I'm one of those dudes who always looks good accidentally. Like, I swear to God, people think I've been trying to, like, I'll put an outfit on and that joint a match or ping a certain way. He's like, yo, this dude is cool. And actually, it ain't till I'm lacing the shoe and go, this go together. Like,
right.
And when I'm lacing the shoe, I'm like, yo, this look kind of fucking hot. Like, and people like, oh, how you do? What made you put that with? I'm like, dude, I just throw stuff on because I learned way back, we were too concerned with fashion than our craft. When Def Jam came out, when the big boom happened in 90, all those urban comics from all walks of life in all cities and states, you should have seen the amount of up-and-coming designers that were backstage of the theater.
Wow.
Everybody from Cross Colors to Carl Kanai to Fubu to D-Lo, Christian Kane, everything that we've got, Shabazz Brothers, all these things, Sir Benny Miles, all these things that came and went. We were so concerned about the outfit we was throwing on. A lot of us bombed because we put more pressure on ourselves of how we look than the message we were conveying, the subject matter, to being as funny as we possibly can. So what happened with me inadvertently is, over the years, you know how now, I call it the cell phone age. In the cell phone age, you keep a cell phone on average about a year. And now you do one. The mistake that I think people made that I never made was I never gave back the cell phone. Once the smartphone was created, when it was time to get a new phone, I never gave back the old phone, because once I realized everything on the old phone still works through Wi-Fi, other than cell service, I'm like, yo, this joint is still worth the money. I'm not giving it back, right?
Look, I got this one still because it works on Wi-Fi.
I got 8 phones, right? Over the years, I got 8 phones left they work by Wi-Fi. So I got 8 Facebook pages. So when I started to do these podcast things, I said, yo, T, you could set up You buy enough little tripods, I could be on all 8 live for real. Not sharing the screen, but live the screen.
Yep.
You got a full fucking studio, right?
Yes. And so when I go live,
studio, work.
2 things at one time.
Wow. Very smart.
I look good.
I want to say this, and you've always been somebody that has came through the times. You've seen the generation. We have one of the dopest producers and eyes for comedy. You know, Uncle Bob Sumner was on here last week. Shout out to Bob. And I wanted to ask you this because you just mentioned it. You mentioned that the big boom, the 90s. You know, one of my first movies and how I seen you before stand-up was in 2 places. Uptown Snaps, watching that and watching that shit, and Sunset Park. I'm a big ball fan, so seeing you play Power Forward and be like, hold up, that's a comedian. And
like butter, baby.
I want to say he had a gold tooth, but we ain't gonna go there.
No, I didn't have a gold tooth. I think that was Shorty.
Yeah, it was.
It was.
I would never wear a gold tooth.
But looking at that and seeing how it changed through time, and you know, like Whoopi Goldberg was in Eddie, and you've been through that time machine. So how does comedy look right now? Does it feel like 1990 all over again with a lot of the young comics coming in? Or how does it feel for you, somebody coming out of that era now?
Well, see, here's the thing. When you really, really love what you do, it never gets old. The only thing you can look at is, and notice, you will notice the peaks and the saturation levels. Like comedy went to this, from this big boom to fast forward another 10 years to this oversaturation. We used to have this inside joke. We used to say comedy's the new rap. You know what I mean?
Right.
Meaning that everybody got a demo. Everybody want to be in. Everybody got a demo. And it went from comedy being comedy with a big boom to being the new rap where everybody had a demo to it being the new R&B because cats would get into comedy just to get some ass. Be honest with you. I know several cats that said that shit straight up. Like there was no shame in their game. It was like, yo, can I get 10 minutes? Yo, man, we ain't got no money for you. I don't want no money. There's mad bitches in it. I'm a smash. Like, so that some people, it sounds funny, but it's real. Like, and so what happens is we looked at the game. I will tell you this. It now feels like the 90 boom all over again because of COVID. So we were the creative ones while everybody was still not trying to figure out what the fuck they was going to do next. We got creative and actually started doing the drive up, the outdoor comedy. Because the restrictions, you couldn't do nothing. Comedy, the governor said, don't even promote comedy, dude. You can't even promote karaoke and comedy. Don't do it. It's illegal. You can't promote it. Don't want this many people. Boom, boom. You ain't outdoors. Go kiss my ass. So we said, oh, outdoors. We took that in June. We ran with it to the point where we were doing 50 to 100 cars a show to sell out. And Live Nation, dude, Live Nation's the biggest promoter in this country. Live Nation seen what we were doing and said and called and said, yo, we want to do this in Philly at the Citizen Bank Park where the Phillies play. 3,000 cars.
Wow.
And that's when we knew we like, yo, the world is watching. Now everybody's picking up driving comedy, blah, blah, blah. So the one thing I've noticed, we did that from June, right? So comes December, Jersey laws was a little lax compared to New York. So we went into Jersey to a hotel. We said, you know what? We used to do ski trips, crab feasts, weekend getaways, blah, blah, blah. Let's just do an overnight thing. We have a situation in Jersey. Big ass ballroom holds 700-800 people. They will let us put 140 in there, socially distanced. It was like, you know what? That's as close to norm as we can get, right? So we put it up. In 2-3 weeks, it sold out too fast. We still got 2 months to go, right? We're like, damn, it's October. We're like, yo. So I said, yo, add a night, man. Add Friday. You know, then we sell out Friday. So now we got, between the both nights, 300 and some people, right? But it wasn't that we got the people out and they came. It was that thirst energy they had as audience and patrons that I sat back and had an epiphany. It was like, dude, on the other side of this COVID shit, it's about to be the boom all over again. Cream's going to rise to the top. people are gonna act like this is some new thing we invented, even though we've been here.
Right.
It's this new thing because they ain't been able to have it. You take something away from somebody and you starve them, and you watch how they act when you put that tray.
And even people that
aren't, and then
like,
JP.
Even people that aren't like fans of comedy, they're just looking for something to do, some interaction, you know, to have a reason to get dressed, you know, have a reason to socialize and just intermingle with people, because we need, as humans, we need to socialize. So
we need each other. People need people. I say it. I know it's one of those things that we got so used to that we wouldn't believe it if we heard it. But to live it is a different ballgame. People need people.
Mm-hmm.
That's a fact.
And we're in the people business. We're in the people business.
We are.
Jump in there, JP.
To that point, you mentioned talking about how the comedy game feels like a mixtape. Everybody got a R&B or a rap. I want to talk to you and take it back because I know my uncle and my mom won't let me get away with it. I got a 2-part question for you. You were in one of my favorite music videos ever, in Nothing But Love with Heavy D. I know the Mount Vernon connection heavy. Like, rest in peace, Hev. I gotta ask you about that while I got you here. What that experience was like, that energy, and then I also want you, if you don't mind after that, to talk about the radio experience, because you were like one of the last real voices that people remember on Kiss FM. Like you put on for the city. Like I want people to recognize that, and a lot of OGs who listen to you throughout the years. Like, so I want you to talk about the music and still rock with you. Like, talk about that Heavy D experience, because I just love Hev. Respect to you, and then how that radio experience came about.
Let me tell you something. Hev is a class act. Rest in peace, Hev. I live by Hev's last words via tweet. The last tweet Hev did was #be inspired. And I live by that day in, day out. Now, first of all, background on Hev is we from Money Earning Mount Vernon. And we all went to high school together. Hev and I have wood shop class together. So imagine this in high school. Imagine you got Pete Rock and CL Smooth over here. You got Jeff Red and I'll Be Sure right here. You got Eddie E right here.
Jeff
Red right here. You got JB Smooth right here. Now this is all that cluster right there, right? You got DMX. All of this is together. So Hev is on. While Hev was on, Talent was a rapper, and Talent was part of a rap group called the Money Earning Crew out of Mount Vernon. We signed to B-Boy Records. The same time when we were in the studio cutting our album when KRS-One dropped Criminal Minded. Give you an idea of the time.
Oh, bad.
So,
yes, sir.
So we were coming behind Hev as that next group out of Mount Vernon. We got tied up in the legal stuff. The label went down. Jive bought KRS-One. Everybody else on B-Boy Records was stagnant and held hostage by the label and the contract stuff. So we fought in court with lawyers for 3-4 years. And at that time, comedy's swinging around. And I already knew as a kid I was going to try to do comedy. I just thought it was going to be a hobby. So while I'm tied in litigation over here, I'm like, I hate to say screw y'all guys, but I got to do my thing over here. Try this. Right. And it just took off, and I never looked back. They still hate me for that shit, by the way. But so fast forward. So Hev's doing his thing, right? Now, if you look at the Nothing But Love video, Hev's video, that was a Michael Jackson style video. That was multi-million-dollar video. Every top supermodel in the world.
Exactly. Exactly.
So I'm at home doing probably jack shit, right? I get a call from Hev. And it's who makes the call? I want to say it was either G Wiz or my boy Joe Jeanette, who used to roll with him. There's their phone, and they was like, "Yo, T, what you doing?" I was like, "No, hold on, I want to holler at you." Hev, get on the phone. Troy, what up? Like, he calling me my middle name. I'm not even respectedly Talent yet. You know what I mean? It's my name, but nobody respects it yet. So he's like, "Yo, Troy, what up?" I'm like, "Nah, what's good?" He's like, "Yo, what you doing?" I said, "I'm chilling, about to do something." Man, come downtown, man. We're shooting this video. Come down, jump in it. So I'm like, jump in it, like come down, like. So now the actor kicks in, like, what's the sequence? What's the script? What's my motivation?
Using all your jargon.
Yeah.
I was like, nigga,
just do the shit, right?
I was like, nigga, you ain't doing shit. Come down here. I said, he said, I got the boy here. I said, who? He said, Chris Tucker. You know, I said, word, my nigga, that's my nigga. He said, I know, we've been talking. Come down, jump in with him. I said, all right, I go down there. And we come down there, and the only thing Hev has to go on, he says, he said, I ain't got to do y'all niggas. Y'all do comedy together, blah, blah, blah. And I had, me and Chris have been working in Atlanta together. He was like, yo, T, what's good, man? Yo, do this shit with me, man. So the only thing they give us is, you know, he got all these supermodels here. Hev's the shit. And we two pimps hating on Hev, right? So they go to wardrobe truck, figure it out. We go in the wardrobe truck, man. We pull out the real old huggy lowdown.
Yes.
The chest out. We got the big.
Yes.
You gotta pull up a straight shot.
We got the chain dripping. So we got the tight sleeves. So we sitting there, and out there doing the camera thing and other things. Chris and I are coming up with what we're gonna do. So first thing we do is we need some funny ass things, man. You know, I'm bankroll, you Skeeter. Bankroll and Skeeter. That's it. Bankroll and Skeeter. I was like, yeah, that's funny. So he's like, so as we go in, we keep doing the scene where Hev walks past, and you go, hey, bankroll and Skeeter, and stop and talk to us. And we like, yeah, whatever. And when he leaves, that's when we're supposed to do some funny snaps on him, like hate on him or whatever. So my favorite part was, I said, like, it's two parts that stood out in the video. And one part was genuine, and they thought I was like this great creator, but I really was shocked at what's her name? The supermodel who had the Noxzema commercials, right? The white girl had the Noxzema commercials with the blue eyes.
Yeah.
So when the girls are walking through, they say react. When I seen her right away, I remember the commercial. I was like, yo, that's that Noxzema girl. Yo, they was like, keep that. You gotta do that. Keep that. I'm like, what it is? They like, yeah, that's her. But keep that. So then the other one was, I was acting like I was gonna shoot him, but I was, you know how you pluck somebody?
Yeah. So
when I got mad, I went to pluck him like it's a gun, and Chris stops the pluck. Go, man, put that shit away.
Stops the pluck.
So when you watch the video, dude, that's the funny shit. I go to pluck him. I said, man, he walking through here like on gravy. He owe me money. And I do like this. And Chris do like this, like, nigga, put that shit away. He said, nigga, we just got out. I said, I know, I was with you. But, so we do that. And, you know, we just have a blast, and then we do some dance, funny stuff on the video. But Hev was the type of guy that he always looked out for. He put the town on his shoulders, and he put the town on the map. And even though Denzel Washington is our biggest star, we look at Hev like he's bigger than Denzel. No disrespect.
Yeah.
Right. Now,
he wore the whole town on his shoulders.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So we look at him like that and grab the charge.
No, and when you come back, the radio. I want to add about Kiss FM.
Say, people forget that. Like I said, if you
I pulled the video up, we need to play it.
Exactly.
Oh, that's my video. That's my video, Tiff.
We gotta play it. Is there a way to play it?
I don't know if I can on this right now. But T, talk to us about the radio side of it.
Radio.
But
so radio is funny because the start of radio in New York was kind of similar. Shout out to Jeff Fox. Matter of fact, when I get off here, I got a call with him because he's syndicated now. We're talking about bringing that back.
Nice.
So I'm at home again, and Jeff calls. Jeff Fox, he's been on the radio. He's the Michael Jordan of this shit, right? So Jeff called, and I'm like, this is a call you don't get every day. So I'm like, what up, player? And he's like, yo, oh man, you ain't gonna believe it, man. I need you, bro. I got an opportunity. We're about to go local on the morning show. I need a comedian, man. Got to be you. Blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, you know, when you're in this game a long time, you get a lot of hype calls and don't mean shit. So I'm not really hyped about it, right? So I'm like, yeah, I hear you. Whatever. He's like, I'm telling you, man. You know, I'm gonna talk to you. I'm gonna put it together. Blah blah blah. And I'm like, yeah, whatever. Ironically, maybe within a week or 10 days, Caroline's on Broadway. Lewis, who books at the Caroline's, called me. And Lewis was like, it was a Thursday. And he was like, what are you doing? And I was like, I'm not doing nothing. He said, can you come down tonight? I have a special showcase. Can you host it? Now, he don't even know. Nobody knows this call happened. Just me and Jeff. And Jeff don't even know that this thing's about to happen. And I was like, man, I was going to chill. I was going to take the kids, blah, blah, blah. He said, I got $1,000. I said, I'll be right there. There's nothing else to talk about. $1,000 to host on a Thursday. I ain't doing shit. I was down there so fucking fast. I don't even think I hit the brakes on my car ever. So I don't know what it is. I just know it's the open gig. Is it paying great? And it's $1,000 I wasn't counting on. On a Thursday, I'm good. So come to find out, what the showcase is the executives, the vice president, the general manager, the program director, the music director. There was 4 or 5 of them in the group. They was putting on a showcase for the next comedian to be on that morning show. The same one Jeff called me for, but I don't know this. I just get the names of the lineup. I go in there. I do my thing. I host. I go in the back, get me a drink, get my Heineken. It was a great show. Yeah. You know, I was in my bag. Everybody did good. And I think it was Chuck Nice. It was Shang. It was 2 other people I can't remember. It was 4 people we know that had radio experience or whatever. So they come in the back. The manager comes back to say, T, I got some people want to come back here from radio station and want to holler at you. All right. You know, I'd rather you say it was a chick with some big titties. But anyway, so I'm like, you know, that's what I was expecting. That T's girl with big titties will come back here, let her back. You know,
juicy, right? Like some juicy shit about to go down.
Juicy,
stay juicy. No. So they come back here, the 4 of them, and they got their business. They pull a business card down. Hey, I'm Toya Beasley. You know, I'm Barry Mayo. Blah, blah. Now these are big ton of people, but because I don't know anything about radio behind the scenes, I don't know. I'm like, hey, what's up? It was like, yo, you ever be interested in doing full-time radio and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, I do a lot of radio. You know, as a comic, we travel, we got to go do a lot of radio. It's like, nah, full-time. Like, you ever thought about it? I was like, you know, whatever. Still not putting it together. You know, we'd like to do an interview with you, man, and you know, see what's up, whatever, and try you out and see if you like it or whatever. I was like, I'm down, whatever, you know. So they called me and they say, it was the following week, and it was like, can you do Tuesday and Wednesday? I'm like, sure. All right, come down this time, blah, blah, blah. So I go down Tuesday and Wednesday. I'm in the room, and it's Jeff. And I'm like, oh, shit, what's up, Jeff, blah, blah. So now we laughing because we're putting it together like, see, told you. And I'm like, okay, cool. I said, but from what I know, you guys are auditioning a lot of people. Like, Jameek went in there for 2 days. All these comedians in the area. And he was like, but don't worry. So sure enough, I do my 2 days. They asked me to do the last 2 days. Then at the end of Friday, they call a meeting. We go in the back office and we sit down and they offer me the job. This is the new show. We want you to be the guy, blah, blah, blah. And me and Jeff bust out laughing. And everybody in the meeting is 3 other people, the general manager, Toya, who's the program director, and the music director. And they're like, you know how that inside joke, the room laughs, but the people who don't know, like, they're like borderline offended. They're like, so funny. So me and Jeff said, y'all ain't gonna believe the story I'm about to tell you. So he gives them the whole backstory of, this is the guy I called first, you know, but you guys were like, we have to audition and we don't want you to think. We want to see everybody. And that's what made it funny. He said, ironically, you niggas picked the nigga I picked anyway.
Yeah, they wanted to go formalities for what?
Well, I got a dope segment. I got a dope segment for you, and then a few more questions before we get you out of here. We do a dope segment each week called Ain't This Some Bullshit with Tiff Tonto. And Tiff, take it away. I think talents are perfect. He's eligible to let you know if it was some bullshit or not.
Yes.
You know what? I don't even have to say much, but this is Ain't This Some Bullshit. I know it's bullshit, but Gorilla Glue Girl. All right. So not only did she put Gorilla Glue in her hair because she ran out of some got to be glue, whatever it is, hairspray. She puts the Gorilla Glue in her hair, and now she is thinking about, or she is seeking legal action against the company.
That girl can't be that stupid. That's bullshit.
Well,
Exactly.
I think here's my thing. Looking at her, I watched the video and I watched the one today where she finally cut the ponytail off and all this shit. Here's the thing. I think the bitch knew that was gonna go viral.
Yes. Thank you, talent.
I think people are such social whores right now that they sit at home and think of the stupidest shit to go viral because they know how us regular folks with brains are gonna react.
Right.
That's just like the girl. Did you see the girl with the fucking the home attendant and the white lady spitting on her?
The white lady spitting on her.
Yes.
But
and
did you see?
But today the new video
they dancing. I posted it. They dancing.
Crazy.
They got wine. You know, Rose got her
fucking
nails painted red. She got her glass
That's
of
why.
wine, and they dancing.
Yeah, I think there's only one excuse for that. That old lady has to have
dementia.
A severe case. Yes, that's the only way. You ain't dancing with my record. You spit on me, bitch. You get none of this.
Right.
None.
So
but the camera's going off, and you're going to bed. I'm fucking you up.
Exactly. Yo, I gotta say this too. You know, I'm a father as well, and I gotta shout out Young Talent Harris as well. Making some amazing content. You know, comedian in the game.
Yeah,
shout out Julio Diaz. That's my guy right there. That dude right there is special in a funny way. Shout out to him. But as a father, do you find that, like, how does that translate in the house? I always want to ask. I've asked him. But I want to ask you from a father's perspective, how does that translate when you trying to make content, he trying to make content? How does the
it don't. You kick him out the house. It don't.
You heard that too, right?
Daddy rules 101. When you start growing up and your dick is regulation like mine, you got to you start growing up, you writing funny jokes, you gotta get out of this house.
Yeah, it is.
One thing in this castle, time for you to go relocate and start a castle. You can't be in this. I tell this story on stage, and it's true as fuck. When my son was about 14, his last ass whooping, he had to be about maybe 14, 13, 15. But I remember I had this thing I used to do. I got from my grandfather. My grandfather, when I got older in hindsight, I see what he used to do. As a kid, I didn't, but it worked. If you make the kids or the grandkids think that you have this click, this crazy click in you, they tend to do less bad shit, right?
Yeah.
So this is how I raise my kids. They need to know daddy crazy. So what I would do with Talent, because he's the oldest boy, and if I do it to him, the other kids look around me and they get it and be like, we ain't fucking around. So when I really want to whoop his ass, he'll tell you the truth. When I really want to whoop his ass as a kid, I make him strip down. And I take his belt off and I beat him butt naked. So now you're getting the ass whooping, that hurts, but your feelings hurt because you're embarrassed that you ass naked in front of your peers and cousins getting your ass. The last time I did that, on one of my upswings, he moved in a position to like block it, but I seen this nigga's dick. I said, yeah. I had it on extra lashes, and you get out of this house. I don't need that kind of pressure.
I added on extra lashes, and now you got to get the fuck out.
Right? So T, as a comedian, as somebody that's been in the game, we got to ask you this. It's something we ask all our guests, especially comedians.
Before you do that, Joe.
Go ahead, Tiff.
I had a question. I want to speak to the point that you made about, social media and most people are social whores.
Yes.
I wanted to know, now that everything is kind of like virtual and there's like really not too many stand-up shows, do you think that the Instagram comedians have more of a advantage than
Actually,
the old school comedians?
I think ironically, both sides are messed up and screwed up. You know why? Because the Instagram comedian, once they tackle that, all the guys I know that are banging on Instagram are trying to figure their way to cross into stand-up. And then all the guys who got stand-up was trying to cross into this. And I think they're both stuck in the rut. I think they both got stuck in the rut because this guy didn't finish learning how to get here, and this guy didn't finish learning how to get here, and then he just stuck in purgatory where the fuck they was originally.
Right?
That's so. That's so
true though. It's true though. So I gotta ask you this. I see you working. You always working, my brother. You out of town. You in town. You got rooms. But we always want to know what's your top 5 show plus an honorable mention. We need to know all time or new right now. Your all time starting 5 of comedy. If you was putting on the show, who would your host be? You get an opener, 2 features, and a headliner, and an honorable mention.
Right now,
so dead or alive.
Right now,
dead or alive.
Dead or alive.
My ultimate show. If I could put a show together, unfortunately, most of them be dead. But well, no, I wouldn't say that because Richard is dead. I'll put Richard Pryor. Mm-hmm. Richard would have to be my headliner. You know what I mean? The 2 people before Richard would be Carol Burnett and Bernie Mac. You know, that's 3 right there. My 4th host would probably be Robin Harris.
Ooh, yes.
You know what I mean? And my honorable mention would probably have to be like a Tony Woods.
Oh, I like that. Talent. To this, what you've done going all around the world, one thing I got to give you credit for too as well is you continue to pay it forward. Like I see you work with all kinds of people. Like I've seen you work with people who have been on big budgets, movies everywhere, and then I still see you working and chopping it up with the brother that's up and coming. Like I've seen you out with Joe different places, and I see you giving that advice to someone. You're very open. You're very willing to give free game. Like, why do you think it's so important to pay it forward? I just want you to touch on that real quick because I appreciate you for doing that. And I've seen you do it for a long time, and you're very reachable and personable. And what makes you feel like you have to do that?
Here's the thing. Everyone who, again, if you love this thing the way I love it and you strive to be the best, you cannot be the best if you can't touch it at every level. I have to be able to walk in the room with the biggest stars, and I have to be able to sit down and have a beer with the up and comings and everything in between. If I can't do, I think that's what separates me from all my peers is that I don't know too many can do it. I don't know. I'll be in a room and I don't know Julio Diaz.
What's wrong with the sound?
You know?
See, your sound, you sound warped a little bit. I don't know what happened.
A little, yeah.
How about now?
We can hear you. You just sound far.
You just sound far away.
I don't know what happened.
But it's all right. We can hear you though.
We can hear you.
We can hear you. We're gonna wrap it up after this anyway.
Yeah, you have to be able to do everything from top to bottom and everything in between. If you can't touch everything, then you can't be the best. You know, because how could you be the best if you don't know what the best is out there? It's like the Muhammad Ali syndrome. I watched the documentary of Muhammad Ali. The best thing, people put his record up there, put all these things up. What made him the greatest wasn't even that. What made Ali the greatest was he wasn't scared to give anybody a title shot.
Yep.
He gave more than 10 people a title shot that wasn't ranked to get a title shot, or his management wanted to duck.
Yeah.
Because they thought it was a chance they could beat him.
That's a fact.
Ali had people he gave a chance to, and he gave it to him for different reasons. One, he was very competitive, but 2, he knew that this guy was super poor, and this one fight would change his life. So something like that, that's a guy that touches the top of the bottom. There was this guy, Guignion, who became the #1 new radio in New York, right? And his whole career in radio was owed to Muhammad Ali because of one day, this is this type of person I want to be. I look at these people and these things they do, and I want to be them. When I'm gone, and
exactly.
I want to be able to talk like we talk about Muhammad Ali was in Harlem. Let's just say his favorite restaurant was Suey's. He wanted to have his favorite meal because in training, they don't get to eat what they want. So he had just finished a title fight, and he wanted a real meal. He wanted to go to this place. His people called the place, and he's Muhammad Ali. He's a champ. So they closed the whole restaurant just so they could cook his meal, his favorite meal.
Exactly.
Muhammad Ali sitting in the restaurant. Somehow the word gets out. You know, motherfuckers can't move water.
Yeah.
Every reporter and public the city, the New York Times, Post, everything, Kiss it, whatever, talk radio 1010. All these reporters swarm the window where you can see into the restaurant.
Yeah.
With the cameras and the mics and the recorders, and they want to get an interview, an exclusive with Muhammad Ali while he's in New York. Muhammad Ali's not doing interviews because he's there to have his special meal. He looks at the window, and somewhere in the middle of that field, one black dude, one scrawny little weird dressed black dude who's barely from a publication. He's from some shit, Tom's Paper, some shit like that. He ain't even reputable. And Ali sees him and taps the Muslim brother and says, "Let him in." Open the door, they're like trying to get, back the fuck up, shorty, come on in.
Right.
He's like, yeah, come on in. And he sits down at the table right across from the little lady. Go ahead, talk to me. Ask me what. And the dude just mouth on the floor like, "What do you want me to interview you?" He said, "You want to interview, right?" He was like, "Yeah, but he said, bro, come on." Gives the guy the interview. He has the exclusive. Takes that shit. Everyone copies his thing. He becomes the number one voice in New York.
That's dope.
Because
that's what it's about.
And I think that's a perfect segue for what I'm about to say too. First of all, shout out to you for taking the time out, bro, for coming on here, dropping gems, kicking it with us, and being, showing us that side of you. You know what I'm saying? Like that side that we could talk to you, ask you things. And I think it's one thing I gotta ask you this too. It's not really a question. Teamwork makes the dream work. You know that. You can only get so far as an individual you are with a team. Now, I get this slack a lot from certain comments. Well, y'all trying to be like the New York Kings of comedy. Of course, the New York Kings being you, Mark Vieira. Shout out to Rob Stapleton. I know there's a line of other Kings, Capone, Drew.
That's a dope ass show.
I saw it. Ever, and I gotta say this, we're not ever trying to piggyback off that. I think, and I gotta shout out my guys, Javon, K. Smith, Emerson, myself. I think y'all paving the way for dudes like us to do what we love. And we all fathers like y'all. We not trying to be like the New York Kings. We moving on our level. And we still love working with a king like this. Like we still want to work. So it's like we learn from what's paid before us. And I want you to talk to about why having a team in this also is business. You know what I'm saying? It's very smart because you know that.
But first of all, don't listen to. Here's the biggest mistake you can make in your life. Don't read your press clippings. And for us, press clippings are those voices in the club talking behind our back, doubting what we want to do, what we set forth to do with our teams. When we started this, bro, now a lot of people don't know, like, see, if you're young in comedy, you think the New York Kings is just what you see now. The original New York Kings started in the year 2000 on my birthday. May 9th. The year 2000. That's 21 years. That's the original first time we come out, right? And we don't know how big it's going to be. We're thinking on a one-show base, we want to sell out the Apollo, and that was the real original thing. We figured, it's 5 of us. We all can draw 500 people. That's 2,500 people. We can sell it out. And the Apollo only holds 1,500. So we're like, we don't want that many. We can sell it out, and we did. So then, after that, the buzz got crazy. We was like, we got to take this on the road. The problem was some of us had different visions. Some of us, you can't do a big ticket show like that and then want to do every little show. It's not, you can't charge this guy $500 and then try to get $500,000. Why would I give you $500,000? This guy give you $500. Why give me
great point. Right.
So, we had a mixture in that. So after a year or two, kind of fell back off of it. But the strangest thing happened when that was out. And this was back then. It happened again, but this was the first time. Our peers around us, everyone started to think of a way to either suck the energy out of it or bring us down. You had guys like, God bless the dead, Todd Lynn, who was an avid instigator, who came to me one time with an idea at the Boston Comedy Club, and I just stared at him. And he was like, dope idea, right? I'm like, fuck yourself. But he's like, y'all got this idea. So y'all are king, right? And me, Will, and so-and-so, and we gonna get together, and we gonna battle y'all. And if we funny. The people say we funnier than y'all, and we think it. We become the New York gang. I'm just staring at this motherfucker
like you sound crazy.
Like, come on.
You sound stupid. And then everybody would come along and have their ideas of, why is he a king? He ain't a king. Smokey should be a king. I remember having a couple of conversations. Why Mark Vieira? I'm Spanish. I'm from the Bronx. I should be the Spanish king. Let me explain something. It started with, when we started that in 2000, we had all the rooms in the tri-state on lock.
Damn sure did.
Yeah. Was hosting every room. It made sense numbers-wise. We wasn't even looking at it like we're better than you guys. We were looking at it like, in the numbers situation, we can make a thing work. We got an idea that can work numbers-wise. Wasn't even on that. People took it like that. It ain't no different than my name. I found out 15 years into my career that all my white friends were mad at me in comedy because they, like, in the hood, you always think of a cool name that try to fit you. So I'm involved in sports, art, graffiti, rap, dancing, comedy. I needed a name that captures everything. I said talent. When I did come for 15 years, and they such suckers. All my white comedian friends fuck with you. They such suckers, right? They talked behind my back for 15 years, and they finally told me 15 years later, it's like, yo, can I keep it real? Like, what? Man, when I seen your name on the list at the comedy club, I was like, who the fuck is this the balls of this motherfucker? So, and all of the time it came word. I'm like, y'all felt that shit about me? Like, nobody said nothing? But never, my point is, never read your own press clippings. Because that was, I hate to use him as a reference, but 4-5, the latest president, I call him 4-5, that was his downfall. His problem was he read everything said about him. He watched everything done about him. Instead of doing you, and if you really believe in something and getting it done, you stop it. Like, you know how many times I do lives every day? Ask me how many times I read the comments. Never. I never go back. Go through the live. Oh shit, you said that, I missed that one. Because it's done. It was that moment. It's in the moment. It's done. But people, they'll come to you, you should comment, blah, blah, blah. See, that's your problem. That's why you can't get forward. You're still reading shit that happened yesterday. Don't ever stop to read the press clippings because you're always we're already our worst critic by nature. I don't want to see it. I lay that shit down. I ask the motherfucker who's shooting it. It's good, look good. I'm good. I'm out. Yeah. Because as soon as I see it, I'm gonna tear it apart. Why did I do that? Why did I hold that like that? Why did I turn my head? I'm not doing that shit. I leave that for the people to judge and I keep it moving.
Sidebar too. Drop some females right now that are doing it that don't get enough recognition. I'll start. Gina G. Shout out to Gina G, a comedian that's on it. That's my one. I think her energy. I met her during the pandemic. I think her personality. I got to perform with her at the Funny Bone in December. She's somebody that I'm telling you, there's a lot of females. But T, who's some of your females that you may be like, yo, look out, we were sleeping on?
Oh, there's so many of them, man. You got Kelly Kells out of Milwaukee.
Yes, sir.
You got what's my girl? Just Niche right there, Sidebar in Chicago. You got Rima Reem is a new girl coming out of Rochester. I mean, excuse me, Buffalo. Coming out of Buffalo. Yolanda Smiles is coming out of Rochester. Here in New York, I mean, you got a lot of female. I always do female shows. I'm doing a show with my girl. I just did a show with her in Florida, and now she's going to be in Atlantic City. Catherine Mahoney, like funny as shit, dude. She's like the female Bill Burr to me. You know what I mean? She's sarcastically funny like that and clever, all wrapped in one ball. So it's a lot of females on the come up. I think being a female in this business is rough. I think, but if you put together a scheme to go against the grain, see, this is the thing. I just did an interview before this, and somebody asked me, but with the climate change of sensitivity, do you change? I said, absolutely not. If you worry about being sensitive and politically correct, you might as well retire now. Because the whole essence of a comedian is to go against the grain, challenge the grain. challenge what is, go against what is with your own plan and thought. With female comedians, a lot of the time, they go up there and be female comedians. Go against that grain. Go up there and be a person.
Yeah.
Go up there and be a person. You know, can you get up there 10, 15, 20 minutes and talk about funny, regular shit without, if I close my eyes and don't hear your voices, a female voice, do I just think that's a funny comic or do I say that's a funny girl?
Yeah.
You don't want to be a girl. To stand out and to really pound this shit through, that's why you got the Samores, the Cheryl Underwoods, and the Melanie Camachos of the game, because these are women who came out and challenged the envelope. They forced the envelope.
I got to throw Shatara Curry in there too. I just thought of
Shatara, absolutely, all day.
Yep.
Yeah,
all day. You got Shatara. You know what's funny? You got two lesbian comedians, funny as shit. You got Aisha Mayfield, and you got Tony Bird. And Tony Bird, funny.
Yes, Tony Bird is a beast. Tony Bird is
funny.
Tony Bird is.
But that's one of those things. See, even though they're lesbians and they're using their own plight, it's still busting up the grain. It's going against the grain. Because every woman you look at, oh, you know, guys, and then heck comes this girl, come up there, my dick in the car. Oh,
like Desi said, JJ Matisse.
Yeah, you just challenged the game. Every man in here readjusted their shit. Everybody, mustard in the car.
So T, talk to us. What does 2021 look like for you? When I say that, the duration of it, what you working on? I see you in Tampa. I see you, putting a lot of comedians in position to also be seen and heard. I think that's dope. But what you got coming up for the rest of 2020 for you, man?
Well, 2020, I could tell already. What is this, February? It's going to be very busy. And like I said, that energy that people have right now is going to challenge. The problem is, again, what's going to happen is a guy like me, I see it being super busy. It went from, I usually work triple, quadruple time, right? So it went from that kind of speed to zero, to the summertime out of the pandemic to 1/3 of it, to feeling like it's going to 2/3 of it. I think it's going to, for me, double and triple by the end of this summer because the cream is rising to the top. People are so thirsty, they're going to want the cream. So guys like myself, who reputation precedes them a lot of the time, they're going to be stretching me. Like, everybody's going to want you everywhere. So I'm already getting those calls now, like, yo, 25th. I'm like, somebody just called about 25th. Ah, shit. Okay, 37. I'm like, ain't you know what I'm saying? So it's already, those calls are already coming. Like, I'm dodging Atlanta. I've been dodging Atlanta for 3-4 months. Like, come on, Atlanta, I got this, I got that. And I'm like, you niggas are partying way too. I'm way.
Hold on, T. I'm admit,
Joe.
Right now, T. I was with the team in October. I was with you for a week, but I was safe though. I was safe, T.
But listen to me. Here's the thing. I'm running my life right now. I call it COVID season. In COVID season, I'm living my life like I do on stage. When a person see me on stage, they have no idea I'm nervous as fuck. Right? Same thing as I maneuver around these countries and these cities that are open and getting work here and here. They have no idea I'm scared as fuck. They like, T out here. T doing the shit. As soon as I get in my hotel room, I'm like, I'm scared myself. I order room service. I'm scared. Who is it? They're like, nigga. Oh,
so does the price go up during this time for comedians?
That's a good question. Say it again, Tiff.
Does the price go up? Like, does your fee go up now? Do you inflate because of COVID? Is it a risk? Or you can't, right?
You can't. The problem is, I mean, you can, but then again, you'll sit home. Because I do both sides of this, I have a marketing company and a promotional part. So we throw out things. We understand the business of it. The reality is this. Everyone's limited of the tickets they can sell. Right. So you can't go up. They already don't want to pay what the fuck it was. So you can't go up and they can only sell less. Right. The ends justify the means.
Right.
So unfortunately, we got to be on a sale a little longer.
Okay. I have a question. I wanted to know, what was your thoughts on Monique when she had the issue with Netflix and when she went on the Steve Harvey show, and how he handled her and how Charlemagne handled her on his show on the Breakfast Club? I just want to know from your point of view, what did you think about that?
Well, let me say this. I love Monique. We are tight friends, right? And even her being her tight friend, I thought she was out of her mind. I thought she played herself, but not in anything male, female, or whatever. I just thought that she looked at things wrong. But I also know that Monique is influenced by the men that she's with, right? So I know that was all due. Here's the thing. You can't be mad at what they're offering you and you're comparing it to other people, and you say her first response was, I got a motherfucking Oscar. But we're not paying you to act. We're buying the comedian.
Yes.
That shit has zero to do with this. If you guys had 2 or 3 jobs, let's say you're a mechanic, Tiff. You're a mechanic, but you also do Mary Kay. You sell Mary Kay. You would be offended if a motherfucker made a reference or try to pay you according to, let's say Mary Kay's expensive. Come on, Tiff, you gave me the muffler for $2. Come on, Tiff.
$2, goddamn.
And now your thing is, well, fuck that, and you gave so and so. See, first of all, she violated. She was wrong with the comparison of the Oscar. Then, as a comedian, you violated because you did what in the hood, that's snitching. You threw motherfuckers under the bus. You threw other motherfuckers deals out there to justify your deal. That's not good. Like, if I'm with a woman and I want her to, pardon the French, if I want her to suck my dick, I can't throw another nigga name in that she sucked his dick last year, because I'm probably not even supposed to know that.
Fact.
Yeah, exactly.
Now I threw this nigga, I done snitched on him, dry snitch, threw him under the bus because I want my dick sucked. If I can't get it on my own merit, what am I doing?
Facts. Facts.
Damn.
I don't like that she did that. Well, he got this and she got that. And I said, wow, listen, you was better off sticking with the white-black scenario.
The white-black.
The white girl got this and I got that. When you did that and brought everybody in and threw them, it was like it was multiple buses going down the street. I was like, damn. Now, mind you, this is a girl who, and she'll tell you this. She know I ain't lying. Me and her so tight. When we did Def Jam tour together, I had to play her big brother because Monique was scared when she first went on the road. She was scared of the road. She made sure we always had to get joining rooms, leave the door cracked because she was scared. I always had to get in the limo when I leave and all. I had to look and I didn't mind. It was cool as fuck.
Right.
You fast forward and you know better than this. But the problem is, when I see her shift in certain things, I always immediately look who she's with. Because she did it before with the guy before this guy. Then you got the new guy. It's just a bunch of shit that didn't have to be. Here's the thing, people. It's America. We can't tell nobody how to spend their money.
Nope.
I can't curse a promoter out or a club out because they want Joe Hill. I go, yo, man, come on. Give me what you want, T. I want 10,000. It's COVID, blah, blah, blah. Joe, we gonna get Joe $1,000 for the weekend. We'll come back to you, whatever. I can't start throwing Joe under the bus and talking shit about Joe. That's wrong. He's just a guy working like anybody else trying to feed his family, and his price happened to be 1,000, mine happened to be 10, and you don't want to pay the 10. I can't make this man pay money that he don't have or it ain't feasible for him. And that's what she did to Netflix. And I was like, come on, man, it's a better way to negotiate.
Yeah.
So
I would say this. I
want a public opinion.
Go ahead, Jay.
Real quick, Joe. To that point, Tiana, you've been offered. You read scripts for. Joe, were you here with it? You read scripts for TV shows, for movies. You've been offered pilots. All of those things. What is your process when you're looking at these things to assess? All right, this is the project that. All right, this works, or I have this, like, this is what I feel like I can bring to this role. Like, what's your process in going about evaluating all of those things?
Something like that too, yeah.
Well, in the beginning, again, because I got Sunset Park, that's the first film. Out of 9 projects I worked on, that was the very first one. No acting experience, no acting coach, no class, no nothing, just sheer raw energy and talent that I already had, right? So that work beget the next film, because the guy who wrote that was about to get green lighted for his next film, and it was a role, and he was like, yo, you be right for this, boom, boom, boom. So in the beginning, don't let nobody fool you. In the beginning, people are taking it because it's work.
Of course.
It ain't until you become somebody that you start to really examine roles and go, this ain't good for me, this ain't good for the culture. You know, we're trying to shift, we're trying not to be the slave nigga no more, or the drug dealer, or if that's down the line when you can pick and choose. In the beginning, people can't pick and choose. The only difference in talent and a lot of other comedic actors is a lot of comics got into this as a stepping stone. They wanted to act. I never looked at it like that. I want to be the best fucking comic in the world. And if acting comes along, because comedy has tentacles, and it lets us branch out and do almost everything from radio, hosting award shows, to acting, to everything. So be it. That I'll allow it, because that allows me to charge more. Exactly. If I'm talent and I'm just funny, again, I'm back to the $1,000 guy. But if I'm talent from Sunset Park, I jump to $5,000 guy. If I got 5 moments, I jump to the $10,000 guy. If I host the awards, now I'm the $20,000 guy. So you do these things because it's like sprinkling and additives that add your worth when you're selling yourself to make appearances.
I mean,
so isn't that like kind of what Monique was saying? Well, I have an Oscar, so I should be the.
I think that's why she threw it in there. That's what I was assuming.
No, it is, but to an extent, she's right. Think about it. It's not like they said Monique filmed this shit for $10,000. The motherfucker was just under $1 million.
Nah, that's the point.
What do you think about Tiffany Haddish opening up her special to different comedians?
Say again.
What do you think about Tiffany Haddish opening up her Netflix special to other comedians?
I love that. I don't know. Here's my thing. I just finished watching that 2 days ago, and I said to myself, for nothing else, if everyone that we know of said stature did that right now, because they have, for lack of a better term, they have Netflix ear and wallet. If every one of them did that, 90% of us would be at another level.
Yes. I respect her for that.
But the problem is comedy is too fucking competitive for that.
And you said something, opportunity. I got to open up for Dean, feature for Dean when he was at Laughaholics with Ray DeJean. Good friend of mine, Dean, and he said, yo, opportunity, I just want you to come. And when he talked about that at the end of that, if you watch the end of it, where they're all sitting around in the director's chairs and they're talking about different comics who they feel, I feel like that's so dope. And like you said, T, if we all did that, we'll be all in a different position like this. So I think
no question, bro. That would be stupendous, but it's too competitive. We're talking about putting people on and giving them specials. Joe, you know, for experience, it's hard to get an OG veteran comic to give you a jewel. All this shit I've been talking, however long we've been fucking talking.
Facts. It's a tooth and a nail. You got to pull it through.
Because they look at it like, I'm still doing my thing. Why am I going to help this dude do his thing? It's competition.
Right.
I don't look at it like that, because I want you to get good. Because I want you to challenge me so that I got to raise my level of play to whip your ass to still be good.
You heard what he said? And that's a perfect segue for this. I know you've been on here. You've been with us for an hour. Your obligation, I don't want to keep you. You got the hotel background. I want you to get back to doing what you do, but I want to leave you on this. Leave us on a positive. We had Delora on here. I ain't talking about no pussy prayers type of out. You know, not like that. Not like with Tip. Not like that type of shit.
Yeah. You know what? I'm gonna send you one of these books for your fucking date on Valentine's Day.
Wait. Look. We're gonna get to the merch, because I gotta get us all some hats. That hat is fire, T. I gotta get 3 hats for the team.
I like that.
I'm gonna talk to you offline, but leave us something for the comics that's gonna watch this, for the producers, for the people that love comedy, give us something to leave us out here with on a positive in terms of just you. I know what you know what you do, but leave us on an organic positive right now.
Well, I'll say this to everybody in the comedy world and stand-up world. No matter what your goal is, it could be a stepping stone. It could be what you want to end off with. You always have to keep the end in sight, meaning how you wish to be reminded. There is no other form of entertainment that is a bigger marathon of a journey than stand-up comedy. So I say that to say, because there's a lot of comrades in the game my age or have been doing it 30 years like me, who unfortunately I can't spend but so much time around because they're in a very overwhelmingly bitter place. And this bitter place that they're in won't allow them to interact with the new school generation coming up, the social media comics. And these young comics, they're sponges and they want the information. They want the baton to be passed. They want those jewels to be dropped. But it's very hard because these guys are bitter with their own life and they don't even understand that the marathon ain't over. Like, perfect example, Bernie Mac. No one knew who the fuck he was nationally till almost 40 years of comedy. Think about that. Almost 40 years in the game, when you wake up, the Bernie Mac show in white America was like, oh my God, this guy's a genius. He'd been there 40 years doing the same thing and just running Chicago. And we knew, the urban market knew, the clubs knew, and he would work, make a living, a nice, decent living, but he wasn't crossed over yet. And he wasn't mainstream yet. He didn't have a sitcom yet. And once that happened, it was like, because you got to realize, to no fault of any one person, that there's a lot of us that people, the million people who know you, there's another million who don't. This is an ultimate marathon stand-up comedy. Don't get discouraged. Stay the course. And don't get in it if you don't love it, because that's the energy that's going to carry you past those 30, 40, 50 years. And so I'd like to say, if you want to have a great career, you want to be the Henry Winkler of this shit. You want to be the Morgan Freeman.
That's a fact.
No, seriously, I model my shit. The way I stay mentally in this is I model myself behind Morgan Freeman. Because as a little kid, when I grew up, Morgan Freeman was on Electric Company. And there was a goofy kids show where they taught you vowels and words, and they used to do the shit like with words, be like run, dumb little kid shit. This
sound like Schoolhouse Rock. Is that sound like Schoolhouse Rock?
It was like Secret was the Magic Garden and New Zoo Review, like all those kiddie shows. Sesame Street. It was like that, but it was Electric Company. They had Spider-Man, all this shit. And this guy, to watch this guy in that goofy role, entertaining kids, to become this super mega star eventually, 50 years later. It's never too late. It's never not going to happen if you stay in the marathon.
Right. Listen,
Talent, I want to tell you that you were my first stand-up experience. I've been watching. I started going to the Boston Comedy Club.
Wow.
And that was like my first time ever going to a live stand-up comedy show. And I
that
just love comedy shows. I used to go every week. It was Sundays, right?
Yes.
Yes. Every Sunday I was in there with my 2-drink minimum.
And T, you also know a comedian out of Syracuse by the name of Travis Blunt. I got to work with him pre-pandemic. He came on the show. Look, I got to shout Trav. I met him through her.
Shout out to Trav.
I know he's worked with you and the King, so I got to shout out Trav. But like, thank you for coming on here, bro, and just taking the time out to. I'm gonna be honest. This is a time of healing for comedy and us to learn as comedians. To learn, this is a lust to absorb. So for me, this is I love it. You came on in the earlier time of the pandemic, so I appreciate you, bro. Even just I can reach out because I was like, damn, I know he's busy, but I said, the T want to come on here, but I said, damn, he responded. I said, that's love right there. So I appreciate that.
Thank you so much.
It's all about doing what you can when you can, bro. Like again, each one teach one. We gotta lift each other up. If people didn't learn anything from this pandemic, that should have shined the high beam on that. Here's my thing. Set your goals to be better on the way out of this shit than it caught you, because it caught a lot of people slipping. You got to come out of this better than the way you went.
Yes.
I'm talking all you niggas with basement apartments, duplex basement apartments and studios, and you wasn't ready. Get your shit ready.
There you go. What you got coming up? Any shows that you want to drop right now? Follow him.
Absolutely. This weekend, Atlantic City, bro. Shout out to the comedians Rudy Rush, Kenny Williams, Brooklyn Mike, singer Jeff Red, Allison Williams. They all gonna be out there celebrating this weekend. Shout out to my peeps out there in Detroit. I'll see y'all this weekend as well on Sunday and everything. And then at the end of the month, you know, we back up in Rochester. Speaking of Rochester, I got my man. I'm gonna have Travis Blunt up there.
I'm coming. I'm gonna come.
Oh yeah, come on up there. I got Friday, Saturday. We got Charles Walden, very funny dude. Dante Carter and my man Walt the Wizard from Black Ink Crew.
Oh, we have Walt on too.
Oh yeah.
What day is that? What day is that on Talent? What's the date?
26, 27? Friday, Saturday.
Right. Yep.
Okay, yeah, I'm coming.
And then shout out to the Stress Factory. We back every last Sunday of the month. Sunday of the month. We back.
I saw you at the Stress Factory with Fig. Well, Fig was there with me. We came there to check you out, the New York Kings of Comedy. That was a great show.
Yeah.
I like how you pulled the ring back. I like how she pulled it. Wait a minute, Fig was with me.
He was with me though.
No, that's my friend. That's my friend.
I know. But I like
that. Out. Me, you, Capone, we was just cracking jokes. I bought some of his lotion. I bought one of your t-shirts.
Yo, T, I gotta get it. I'm on the West Coast.
Hat.
But listen, I'm gonna be back in New York in April. I need 3 of them for the whole squad. And when we have you, we're gonna support you, man. I got you, man. I mean that. Appreciate the brand. Keep doing what you do. Much. Stay safe, and we definitely support him at Talent the Comedian. Share his shit. It take 2 seconds to show love. It's just comedy. Be good, brother.
Thank you so much, my brother.
Yo, that is the man, the myth, legend.
A 914 legend, brother. A 914 legend.
Hey,
it's just comedy.
And can I shout out Desi in here? My guy Desi on the road with the gang. You know, shout out to William, shout out to AD. Shout out to everybody out there. My guy Desi's working, been tapping in. Money earned in Mount Vernon definitely represented tonight. Javon was in here. You know, look, I'm always a big fan of anybody that contributes to the culture. Anybody that's came before me, I mean, I've only been doing it for 15 years, and that's still half of probably of what Talent has made a mark on the game. So to have him on here, and we had Bob last week, so we fucking rocking and rolling. You know,
you know what
I'm saying?
As my mother would say, we starting to cook with fish grease.
Listen, great advice
to Delora.
To the end. Shout out to Delora.
Yes, Delora.
Shout out to but of course, like he said, show love to my guy Talent the Comedian. Follow him on Instagram. He got shows everywhere in New York. Literally, I'm gonna get on some of them shows too. A closed mouth don't get fed.
You need to be on a Rochester show.
Listen, I mean, talk to Travis. You know what I'm saying?
Talk to Travis. All right.
But no, and one thing I said in everything, you know, I gotta harp on this. You know, shout out to my guys, Kate Smith, Emerson Stuyvesant, Javon Johnson. You know, we get the slack a lot because y'all taking their name, and it ain't got nothing to do with that. We 4 dudes that got a plan, a vision, and we running with the shit. And of course, it had to be paved the way by people that came before us. But anyway, we're not trying to.
But I'm sure people said that about them with the Kings
of course.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? We're all inspired.
Yes, and every generation got to make their contribution. You absolutely right, Tiff. Every generation has to make their own contribution. And what everyone's doing is relevant and it's necessary. Fact. Especially if they're going about doing it the right way, the way y'all are.
And
so
then
come
it's
on,
just
man.
like Delora said, is sexual energy, is spiritual energy. You know, Robin Harris was kind of like Bernie Mac, same type of style. I don't think Bernie Mac was trying to copy him. I just think that the energy never dies.
Yeah.
Energy, you don't lose energy. Yeah. I think it's just, it is what it is. If you love it, that's what it is.
Yo, I got some good news. And I'm going to share this with Regina because she's a subscriber. We got some new Afterthought podcast merch that's coming in this week. That's right. The Afterthought podcast, we got our own merch. And like I said, it got your names on the back. It got your numbers on the back. So, yeah, Regina, I need you to do me a favor because you watch and you subscribe. You send us a couple dollars every month. Send me your information in my DM. Inbox me. I want to send you an Afterthought podcast.
Yes, thank you, Regina.
Black tee with the logo. You know what I'm saying? At least we could do that. Send you a little gear. But yo, this has been dope. This was a dope.
Another great episode.
And Delora, if you're still watching, you need to make that hashtag Stay Juicy t-shirt.
And we're going to do that. I'm going to do the challenge. Yo, you going to do the challenge too,
Yes, I am.
All right, we're going to do the challenge together. We're going to do the challenge.
Yeah.
I'm down for it.
Let's go, Joe.
I'm down for it. I will say this. The world is opening up. And when I say that, I and I'm not trying to flex on y'all. I'm saying I need y'all because we got to find a way to infuse the podcast and some shit that I got coming. When I say that, Austin, Texas is coming up. We got Miami coming up. When I say the gang is going to Miami Improv May 5th. So it's so much happening. And then the fall I can't talk about yet. But what I'm saying is I'm trying to find a way to pivot the podcast as a pre-show to the madness of what's about to happen. And we'll work that out. We'll get the gang there. We'll get the equipment there. But we need to infuse this in some shit that I got going on. And we got to talk offline. But
yes.
Yeah, that's another conversation.
That sounds amazing. And I want to say real quickly, shout out to Uncle Kev. He wasn't feeling too well. But I was like, we're going to make sure we shout him out because he always holding us down. He's feeling better right now.
Yeah, we shout out Carol's Bakery also. I know we were supposed to show this.
Lloyd.
I'm sorry. Lloyd's
carrot cake. Yo, Joe, don't worry. When you come back, we're going to have the package. Like we're going to have the whole package for the whole team. Like that's going to be taken.
Tell them where it's at, where it's located.
Lloyd's Carrot Cake. Make sure you follow the whole family at Lloyd's Carrot Cake on your Twitter and your Instagram. Continue to support Black businesses. It is Black History Month, so I want to make sure. Another quick pro tip. Right. Go support your friend's local merch. Go support a local Black business and get the merch. Whether if it's a shirt, some glasses, go get your food there on a Takeout Tuesday or on a weekend when you don't feel like cooking too much.
That's a fact.
Go support Lloyd's Carrot Cake. We got the 2 locations. We in Riverdale and we in Harlem. You already know what it is.
What's your go-to? What's your go-to?
Well, it depends on what, we're known for the carrot cake with the nuts and raisins. I would sit here and say, I'm telling you, Tiff, when you have it, this is a game changer. We got the pineapple coconut. We got the chocolate on chocolate. We got the German chocolate. We got the yellow on chocolate.
Valentine's
Day. We got the red velvet.
It's on a Sunday. It's on a Sunday. You want to get a cake for the fam. Your lady.
Yo, Joe, you had some when I had the cakes at brunch.
This book does not have an author. I can't find the author.
What?
Don't worry.
We're gonna get to Tiff in a second, but hold on, JP. You said what?
You remember you had cake when we had the cupcakes at brunch.
Yes, we did. Those is fire.
Yes. When we had my last birthday outside, when we had the cupcakes, you had some.
Good. Now, Tiff.
Yeah. What month is your birthday?
Hold on. How come that book doesn't have an author? That's the first.
I don't know. I'm looking. It's not on the front.
You've been drinking. Eating edibles.
Shut the hell up.
But wait. There's nothing on the inside, like a forward where it says two. You know how they'll say so in the name of the.
There's a dedication. There's no forward.
Yeah. There's no I was gonna say there's no forward. God damn.
No. It just goes straight into it.
Pussy prayers. Where do you buy?
Straight to it. Blackgirlbliss.com. Black girl, but I got it off of Amazon. It's like $11.
What's the name?
Oh, nice.
Black Girl what? Okay.
Black Girl Bliss.
Black Girl Bliss.
Maybe that's the author.
Maybe
that's her name. Like
blackgirlbliss.com.
I got plans for Valentine's Day. I don't know about y'all. That's all. I'm about to start playing.
When is Valentine's Day? Sunday?
Valentine's Day is Sunday. I got plans. I'm busy.
Doing shit.
I'm busy.
All right. I'm going to text you. Work on your eye contact.
Listen, this is how my night is going to start on Sunday right here.
Yeah, me and Tip was ready with the body roll. You see? Yo, we were so ready, Tiff. I love it. We were so ready.
That's that shit.
He said, you gotta move them rose petals. You gotta take them off.
Oh man,
you gotta move them shits.
Well,
no,
that was too funny.
She Line has more merchandise coming soon.
Talk about the She Line.
So I got some hoodies coming, and I am doing loungewear for all the ladies that's sitting at home, working at home.
Comfortable. Is that OnlyFans gear? Is that OnlyFans?
Not OnlyFans.
Yo, Joe, anything is OnlyFans gear.
Is it?
Loungewear?
I think so, Tiff. I seen a meme. I seen a meme real quick, y'all. And it said that like big shirt, pussy. Shout to Cass Facts, shout to Brooklyn. It was like big shirt pussy is better than lingerie pussy. And I'm like reading the comments because you know he always be talking that crazy shit. Shout to my guys out there. And he was like, oh, a lot of people were like, yeah, they like the big shirts. And a lot of women were like, the men don't appreciate the lingerie. And I was like,
You know why I think that is because it's not even exclusive. It's not special anymore.
Yeah,
over social media. It's not special.
It got fucked up last summer when everybody started wearing lingerie with Air Maxes and Jordans in the middle of the goddamn summer. That's when it all got messed up. Because they wearing red see-throughs, lime green see-throughs with some 95 Air Maxes. Come on, man.
I remember when them Tom slippers. I remember Tom's when he had them little slip on and niggas was wearing. I took a pair to DR, nigga. That's how I know they was popping, nigga. Tom's, the slip-ons. So yeah, trend is everything. You're right. That's what I'm saying. It's a trend. So yeah, with that being said, I got a song I gotta play for y'all. I gotta do this right now. This is my guy. Speaking of a Boston native, when I say that, he's been on my web series before. I was supposed to have him on, but due to the nature of everything, I'm gonna play his record right now. It's called Falling Down. This is my brother from another, Mr. Corey Hales. I'm gonna play a snippet of it. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Get that right now. It's download at that. It's called Falling Down, Corey Hales music.
See that look on your face. I know that I'm wanting you back.
Joe's just trying to show us his playlist for Sunday. That's all.
I know.
Straight out of Boston. Talented motherfucker. Corey Hales.
Can you be what I need you to be?
I'm definitely doing a TikTok with this.
Please, you tell him to send his music to the radio.
Oh, I got you, Tiff. I'm gonna have him on as a guest next week because I want to give him the right love. I told him I was gonna get him on, but Corey Hales, this record is called Falling Down.
Oh, it's nice. This give me real picnic park vibe.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna bring him on.
I want to have a glass of. I want to pop the wine. We on the picnic date in the park, and this is playing on the Bluetooth speaker.
Picnics are not overrated. Ain't nothing cooler than going to sit. Even if it's pre-planned, it's the little things. Sitting by the park, sitting outside. Listen, man. Even if it's not your idea, just do it. That's what I'm saying.
Yo, fellas. If you're in a warm climate, because you know you can't do it up here in the city with all the snow and stuff.
Yeah.
Valentine's Day pro tip from JP. You can get a cheap date for $20. You go get you a couple. Go to the corner store
for $20.
Let me tell you something. Go to the corner store. Go get you a hero. You know, little turkey and cheese, pepper jack.
The pro tip.
Go to the liquor store. You know you got to get a twist off because I know most of y'all don't got the. It's all good. Go get you a little twist off, pink Moscato.
Garbage ass pro tip.
They got them $7.99. Go get you a couple of them red cups from the 99-cent store.
Started with a hero.
First of all, don't nobody
get the sheet.
Have a red cup.
Go get you a nice clean. Wash the sheet though first, fellas. Wash the sheet.
Oh shit.
Wash the sheet. Put it down.
Tip said, nigga said, honey jack.
I'm telling you.
Pro tip.
Make sure you JBL.
That pro tip was so low budget. Oh God, that pro tip. But you know what though? It's the thought
balance. We need balance.
No, but you know what? It's the experience. That's
the
nice.
thought.
I would appreciate something like that with somebody I actually like.
Tiff,
thank you, Tiff.
Tiff, if you got to a park and the nigga pulled out 2 heroes, a hookah, a bottle of honey jack, she'd be like, you know what?
You know what? I'd be like, where was the chicken wings and the hot sauce and the ketchup?
See, you can do that too. You go to the chicken spot, get you an 8-piece for $5.99.
Oh my God!
No, I like fried chicken and macaroni salad for outside dining.
Oh, you can do that.
Okay,
you can do that.
Cold fried chicken, okay, cold.
Ooh, what's your favorite part? What's your favorite part of breast, leg, thigh, wing?
I like the drumstick.
Joe,
I'm a breast man, but I'll settle for a thigh out of court. I'll settle out of court for a thigh.
Okay.
Wait, did y'all watch this movie, Malcolm and Marie?
Yes, I watched it last night.
That was so dope.
And
we got to talk about it next week. We're going to
talk about it more, but I've been watching some shit being that I'm out here. I got the big screen. I've been literally, that shit was intense. That shit was intense.
It reminded me of my old relationship. I'm like, this shit is toxic as fuck.
Yo, toxic. I'm sitting there like, damn, I think I was like that for about 10 seconds at one point in my life. Especially the part where he's talking to her like, yo, you got to be better for yourself. You can't.
Spoiler alert! Before you start saying more, the people ain't watch it.
Either way,
the performance is unless you motherfucking him and I'm Zendaya
and John David Washington.
We're not gonna spoil shit.
No, we're not.
I tell you, it's
called Malcolm and Marie. Malcolm
and Marie.
He is quite the actor, young John.
So is she.
Yeah. Well,
yes, she impressed me more. She impressed me more. Like I didn't know she had those type of acting chops.
She was. And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, thank y'all for tuning in. It's been a dope episode. Shout out to Delora for coming on here earlier, the Mindset mentor, and I got Talent, the OG. It's always just comedy. And of course, an amazing co-host, Tiff Tonto, JP. We back next week. We got the hot 5 back. We got a new comedian coming on. And I got a female coming on. I ain't gonna spoil it. We got a comedian coming through doing her hot 5. We're gonna interview her. And we're gonna get some new guests on here. So you know where to find us. Afterglow Podcast. If you want to support the show, that's right. There it is at the bottom. Support the show, donation, whatever it is. We'll get you a shirt. We can't pay your bills, but we'll send you a thank you t-shirt with a commemorative. I don't know, maybe all of our signatures.
I sent Fem a shirt, and she sent me a beautiful thank you inbox. It was so sweet.
Yes, Fem sent you.
So
follow us, support us. We doing it. We moving. Shout out to Virginia Nelson. We appreciate you. We'll see y'all next week. Same time, same bad channel. Y'all be good. Peace.
Peace.